Welcome to Fearless Audio, where powerful words become life-changing experiences. You're about to listen to a book that could change the way you see yourself, your goals, and your entire future. This is The Success Code by Larry R. Wells, a deeply inspiring journey into the heart of what truly creates success. This isn't just another book filled with big promises and empty advice. It's a guide written in clear, simple words, crafted to reach real people with real dreams. Whether you're starting from nothing or rebuilding from a setback, this audiobook was made for you. Each chapter is filled with wisdom that's easy to understand and powerful enough to shift your mindset, your habits, and your path. This book will remind you that success is not a secret. It's a code you can learn, live, and unlock. So if you're ready to break free from fear, take control of your journey, and finally start building the life you've always wanted, press play, listen closely, and let these words move you. And if this message touches your heart, please support our channel, Fearless Audio, by liking, sharing, and subscribing. Every bit of support helps us create more life-changing audiobooks for people just like you. Now, take a deep breath. You're about to unlock the Success Code. Introduction: Breaking the Myth of Success. Success is one of the most talked about words in the world. People chase it. They dream of it. Some even spend their whole lives looking for it, but many never find it. Not because they're not smart or hardworking, but because they don't understand what true success really means. We've been told that success is all about having lots of money, big houses, expensive cars, or a fancy job title. But deep inside, we all know that these things alone don't bring lasting happiness or fulfillment. The truth is, success is not something you find outside. It is something you unlock from within. It's not just about what you have. It's about who you become. Real success means living a life full of purpose, passion, peace, and progress. It's about waking up each morning with a sense of direction and going to bed each night feeling proud of the steps you've taken. In this book, you will learn the Success Code, a set of simple but powerful principles that can change your life. These are not secrets kept only for a lucky few. They are timeless truths that anyone can apply, no matter where you are or what you've been through. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing to grow. You will learn how to find clarity, build strong habits, develop a powerful mindset, rise after failure, and take bold action. You will also discover how to control your time, choose the right people, keep learning, and give back to others. Each chapter will help you unlock a different part of the code. By the end of this journey, you will not only understand success, you will live it. This book is written in simple words so that anyone, no matter their background, can understand it and feel inspired. Whether you are just starting out or trying to rebuild, know this: you are not too late, not too broken, and not too far behind. You hold the key to your future. The code is already inside you. Now it's time to activate it. Let's begin. Chapter 1: Clarity is Power. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine getting into a taxi. The driver turns to you and says, "Where to?" But you don't give him an answer. You just sit there in silence, hoping he'll take you somewhere nice. Sounds strange, right? Yet this is how many people live their lives, moving each day without a clear destination, just hoping they'll end up somewhere successful, happy, or fulfilled. But the truth is, without clarity, success is nearly impossible. You can't reach a goal you haven't defined. Clarity is power. When you know what you want, everything changes. Your energy becomes focused. Your decisions become stronger. Your time is used more wisely. Life stops being confusing and starts becoming meaningful. You don't waste years chasing the wrong things because you've already decided what matters most to you. So many people feel lost because they've never taken time to stop and ask, what do I really want? They follow what others say. They chase trends, copy friends, or do what's expected of them. They go to college because everyone else does. They take a job because it pays well, not because it makes them feel alive. Then one day they wake up wondering why they feel so empty. The answer is simple. They are living someone else's life. To live with clarity, you must be honest with yourself. What does success truly look like for you? Is it building your own business? Is it becoming a great parent? Is it helping others, creating art, or traveling the world? Your definition of success should excite you, not impress others. Don't be afraid if it's different. That's what makes it powerful. It's yours. Clarity begins with vision. Think about where you want to be in 5 years. Picture it clearly. What are you doing? Who are you with? How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? What does your day look like? Don't worry about how you'll get there just yet. First, you need to know where there is. Without vision, you'll drift. With vision, you'll move with purpose. Now let's take it one step deeper. Clarity is not just about the big picture, it's also about the small steps. Once you have a vision, break it down into goals. Want to write a book? Your first step might be to write for 30 minutes each day. Want to become healthier? Maybe you start by drinking more water and walking daily. Success is built through small, clear actions repeated over time. Clarity also helps you say no to the wrong things. When you know what you want, you can avoid distractions. You won't waste time on things that don't bring you closer to your vision. You won't say yes to every request or follow every trend. You'll have the courage to stay focused, even when others don't understand your path. Let's look at an example. A young woman named Maria grew up in a family where everyone became doctors. Naturally, she went to medical school to make her parents proud. But deep down, she loved photography. It gave her energy. It made her feel alive. After 2 years of studying medicine, she realized she was chasing a dream that wasn't hers. She made a bold decision to leave medical school and follow her passion for photography. Today, she runs her own successful photography business and teaches others how to capture beauty with their cameras. She's not just successful, she's fulfilled. Why? Because she got clear about what she wanted. Clarity also brings peace. It removes the stress that comes from uncertainty. When you're unsure of what to do or where to go, life feels heavy. You're constantly second-guessing yourself, comparing your journey to others. But when you have clarity, your path feels lighter. You may not have all the answers, but you have direction, and that makes all the difference. Sometimes clarity takes time. It doesn't always come in one moment, and that's okay. Life is a process of discovery. Start by asking yourself better questions. What makes me feel alive? What kind of impact do I want to make? What would I do if I couldn't fail? What do I want people to remember me for? Write your answers down. Reflect on them often. These questions will help you connect with your true self and shape your personal definition of success. And once you have that, you can begin to design a life that matches it. Clarity doesn't mean everything will be easy. Challenges will still come. You might fail, get discouraged, or feel lost at times. But with clarity, you'll always find your way back. It's your inner compass. It's what reminds you of why you started in the first place. Another powerful example is of a man named Elijah. He worked in construction for over a decade. He was good at it, but it wasn't his dream. In his free time, he loved working with children and mentoring teens at his local community center. One day, after helping a struggling boy turn his life around, Elijah felt something shift. He realized his true calling wasn't building houses, it was building lives. He decided to go back to school, became a youth counselor, and now works full-time helping young people create better futures. It wasn't the easiest path, but it was the clearest one, and clarity gave him the strength to follow it. Here's something else to remember. Clarity grows with action. Don't wait until everything is perfect before starting. Take a step, try new things, learn as you go. You don't need to have all the answers, just enough to get moving. As you take action, you'll gain more insight and your path will become clearer. Every great success story starts with clarity. Before the business, the invention, the book, the performance, or the breakthrough, there was a vision. A person dared to imagine a better future, then built it one step at a time. That can be you too. Clarity is not about having every detail figured out. It's about knowing your why. Why do you want to succeed? Why do you want to grow? Why does this goal matter to you? When your why is strong, the how becomes easier. You'll find the strength to keep going, even when the road gets hard. So today, take time to get clear. Don't rush through life hoping it all works out. Define what success means to you. Create a vision that excites you. Set small goals that move you forward. Say no to things that distract you. And trust that every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to the life you were meant to live. Remember, Without clarity, you're just moving. With clarity, you're advancing. And when you walk with purpose, every step becomes powerful. This is your time. This is your life. Define it clearly and then go live it boldly. Chapter 2, Discipline over Motivation. Motivation feels good, but it doesn't last. We all have moments when we feel fired up after watching an inspiring video, hearing a powerful speech, or reading a life-changing quote. In those moments, we believe we can do anything. But then a few days pass, life gets hard, and that motivation fades. Suddenly, the goals we were so excited about feel heavy, and we return to old habits. Why does this happen? Because motivation is like a spark. It burns bright, but quickly dies out. Discipline, on the other hand, is like a fire that keeps burning. It doesn't depend on how you feel. It's steady. It shows up even when you don't feel like it. If you want real success, you need discipline more than motivation. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It's waking up early to study, train, or work on your dreams, not because it's fun, but because it moves you closer to your goals. Discipline doesn't always feel good in the moment, but it always feels good later. That's the reward: progress, growth, and results. Think about athletes. Most people only see them winning medals or lifting trophies, but what we don't see are the early mornings, the hours of training, the missed parties, the strict diets, and the painful injuries they overcame. These athletes don't succeed because they are always motivated. They succeed because they are disciplined. They show up every day, no matter how they feel. Take the story of Jamal, a young man from a small town who dreamed of becoming a software engineer. He didn't have much money, and his school didn't offer computer classes, but he had access to a public library. Every day after work, even when he was tired, Jamal would walk to the library and study coding for hours. His friends were out enjoying themselves, but Jamal stayed focused. It took him 3 years, but he eventually built his own app, which led to a job at a major tech company. His success didn't come from bursts of motivation. It came from daily discipline. Discipline also builds confidence. When you consistently keep promises to yourself, you begin to trust yourself. You start to believe, if I say I'm going to do it, I'll do it. That belief is powerful. It helps you take on bigger challenges and chase bigger dreams because you know you won't give up halfway. But here's the thing, discipline doesn't come naturally. It's something you build like a muscle. You have to train it every day. You won't feel strong at the beginning. You'll want to quit. But the more you push through, the easier it gets. What once felt hard becomes normal. What once felt impossible becomes your routine. Start small. Don't try to change everything in one day. Want to wake up earlier? Begin by waking up just 15 minutes earlier. Want to eat healthier? Start by cutting out one unhealthy snack. Want to start reading more? Commit to 10 minutes a day. The key is not how big your steps are, it's how consistent you are with them. And yes, you'll have days when you mess up. Everyone does. The difference between successful people and those who give up is this. Successful people get back on track quickly. They don't let one bad day become a bad week. They don't wait for the perfect time to restart. They just keep going. Here's another real-life example. Clara, a single mother of 2, wanted to write a book. Her days were packed with work, chores, and parenting. But she made a decision. Every night after putting her kids to bed, she would write for 20 minutes. It didn't matter if she was tired or uninspired. She wrote anyway. Some days she wrote 1 page, some days only a few sentences, but she didn't stop. After a year, she finished her book and self-published it. It went on to help thousands of people. Clara didn't wait for motivation. She used discipline to build her dream. It's also important to remove distractions. Discipline grows stronger when you create the right environment. Turn off notifications. Set a schedule. Avoid time-wasting habits. The fewer temptations you face, the easier it is to stay disciplined. Willpower is limited. Don't test it more than you need to. Make your life support your goals, not fight against them. Some people think discipline is boring or too strict, but the truth is, discipline gives you freedom. When you're disciplined with your time, you have more of it. When you're disciplined with your money, you have more security. When you're disciplined with your health, you have more energy. Discipline doesn't trap you. It frees you to live the life you truly want. Let's also talk about the power of routines. A good routine helps you stay disciplined automatically. You don't have to think or debate. You just follow the system you've created. Morning routines, work routines, and bedtime routines can all help you stay focused and productive. They make discipline feel natural. If you want to build discipline, surround yourself with people who live that way. You become like the people you spend the most time with. If your friends are lazy, unmotivated, and full of excuses, you'll likely act the same. But if your circle is made of people who push themselves, stay focused, and chase their goals, you'll rise to that level. Energy is contagious. Make sure you're catching the right kind. There's a young woman named Aisha who wanted to run a marathon. She had never been athletic, and people laughed when she shared her goal. But instead of giving up, she joined a local running group filled with disciplined, focused runners. At first, she could barely run half a mile. But she kept showing up, learning from others, and following her training plan. Months later, she crossed the marathon finish line with tears in her eyes. Her journey wasn't fueled by motivation. It was powered by discipline and a supportive environment. Remember this: motivation is what gets you started. Discipline is what keeps you going. If you only act when you feel like it, you'll never reach your full potential. But if you learn to act even when you don't feel like it, success will eventually come. You have more strength inside you than you know. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you grow that strength. You become more focused, more capable, and more proud of yourself. You stop waiting for the perfect mood or the right time. You just show up, and showing up is half the battle. So today, make a choice. Decide that you will no longer be controlled by your feelings or your moods. Decide that your dreams are worth more than temporary comfort. Build the habits, create the routines, and take small steps every day, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Discipline may not always feel exciting, but the life it builds is. Your future self is waiting, cheering for you, hoping you'll stay the course. Don't let them down. Stay strong, stay steady, keep showing up. And remember, discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being committed. One step at a time, one day at a time, you are becoming the kind of person who succeeds, not just once, but for a lifetime. Chapter 3, The Power of Belief. Everything begins in the mind. Before you achieve anything in life, whether it's building a business, getting a degree, writing a book, or improving your health, you must first believe that it's possible. Belief is the root of success. It shapes how you think, how you act, and how you live. If you don't believe in yourself, you will never take the steps needed to grow. But if you do believe, the impossible becomes possible. Many people fail, not because they're not capable, but because they never even try. They've already convinced themselves that they're not smart enough, talented enough, or lucky enough. They tell themselves stories like, "People like me don't succeed," or "I failed before, so I'll probably fail again." These thoughts are like invisible chains, holding them back from what they could truly become. Your mind is powerful. What you tell yourself every day matters more than what others say about you. If your inner voice is full of doubt, fear, and negativity, it will stop you before you even start. But if you learn to speak words of belief, hope, and courage to yourself, you will rise, even when life is hard. Let's talk about the story of Annika, a young girl who grew up in a small village. She had big dreams of becoming a scientist, but people around her didn't believe in her. They said, "Girls from this village don't do things like that." She had no internet, no tutors, and very few resources. But she had belief. She believed in her mind and her mission. Every day, she walked miles to a school with old books and broken chairs, and she studied with passion. Years later, she earned a scholarship to a top university and became one of the leading researchers in her field. Annika didn't have the perfect environment, but she had powerful belief, and that changed everything. Belief isn't magic. It doesn't mean you can just wish for something and it will happen, but it gives you the strength to keep moving forward. It fuels your actions. It makes you try again after failing. It helps you push through pain, doubt, and fear. Without belief, you'll give up the moment things get hard. But with belief, you'll keep going until you reach your goal. You must train your mind to believe especially if you've been discouraged for a long time. Start by challenging your negative thoughts. When you hear your inner voice say, "I'm not good enough," stop and ask, is that really true? Most of the time, these thoughts are based on fear, not facts. Replace them with empowering words like, "I am learning, I am growing, I am capable, I can do this." Affirmations are powerful tools. These are simple statements you say to yourself every day that help build belief. Try saying these out loud each morning. I believe in my ability to grow and succeed. I am becoming stronger, wiser, and better every day. I am worthy of success and happiness. I can overcome any challenge that comes my way. The more you repeat these truths, the more your mind begins to accept them. Your beliefs shape your behavior, and over time, your behavior creates your results. It's also important to protect your belief from outside voices. Some people won't believe in your dreams. That's okay. They don't have to. It's not their vision, it's yours. Don't let their doubt become your belief. Keep your circle filled with people who lift you up, who remind you of your potential, and who believe in what you're working for. Let me share the story of Daniel, a man who was told all his life that he wasn't smart. His teacher said he was slow. His classmates laughed at him. Eventually, he began to believe it too. For years, he worked in jobs where he never used his full potential. But one day, he met a mentor who saw something special in him. That mentor gave him a book on self-belief and encouraged him to take a course on public speaking. At first, Daniel was terrified, but step by step, with practice and encouragement, he found his voice. A few years later, he became a motivational speaker, sharing his journey with thousands. Daniel's life changed the moment his belief changed. Never forget this. You don't have to be perfect to believe in yourself. You don't need a perfect background, perfect skills, or perfect timing. You just need the courage to say, "I can try." That small belief can open big doors. Belief also allows you to dream bigger. When you believe, you give yourself permission to go after things that once seemed out of reach. Maybe you want to start a business, move to a new country, speak on a big stage, or create something that changes lives. With belief, those dreams stop being impossible and start becoming possible. Another key to building belief is remembering your past victories. Think back to moments when you were afraid but still moved forward. Times when you thought you couldn't, but you did. These are proof that you're stronger than you think. Write them down. Reflect on them often. Let them remind you that if you could do it once, you can do it again. Sometimes, belief means believing even when there's no evidence yet. You might not see the results immediately. People may doubt you. You may feel tired. But belief is choosing to trust the process. It's knowing that growth is happening even when it's not visible yet, like a seed growing roots underground before it breaks through the soil. One more powerful story is about May, a woman who dreamed of opening her own bakery. She had no money, no connections, and no formal training, but she believed in her talent and her recipes. She started baking from her small kitchen and selling her goods at local markets. She saved every dollar and reinvested it in her dream. It took years, but she eventually opened a small bakery that became famous for its heart and flavor. Customers didn't just buy her cakes, they bought her belief. In your own life, you must protect and grow your belief daily. Feed it with books, mentors, goals, and positive self-talk. Starve your doubts. Remember that every person who ever achieved greatness once started with nothing but belief. They weren't born special. They became special through faith, focus, and effort. Let this be your message today. You are capable. You are worthy. You are enough. Not someday, now. Believe in your dreams, even if they seem far away. Believe in your strength, even if others don't see it yet. Believe in your journey, even if the path is unclear. Because belief is where it all begins. It's the first step to unlocking your potential and living the life you were born for. So go ahead, believe. Then take action and never stop, because the power inside you is greater than any challenge outside you. Chapter 4. Take action, even if it's small. Thinking big is great. Dreaming big is even better. But nothing changes until you take action. Ideas without action are just wishes. Dreams without effort stay dreams. Success only comes to those who are willing to take that first step, even if it's a small one, even if it's messy, even if it's scary. Many people spend their whole lives waiting. They wait for the right time, the perfect plan, or the moment when they feel completely ready. But here's the truth. That perfect moment never comes. There will always be fear. There will always be doubt. There will always be something that's not quite right. If you wait for everything to be perfect, you'll wait forever. Taking action doesn't mean you have to do something huge. You don't need to leap into something massive overnight. It simply means moving forward, little by little, day by day. Small steps build momentum, and momentum creates progress. Think of a mountain. It looks big and impossible to climb when you're standing at the bottom. But if you just take one step and then another and keep moving, you eventually reach the top. You don't climb it in one big jump. You climb it with steady action. Let's talk about the story of Ethan. He was overweight and unhappy with his health. Every year he told himself, "This year I'll change." But months passed and nothing happened. He kept waiting to feel motivated. One day, instead of making another excuse, he simply put on his shoes and went for a 10-minute walk. That small action didn't seem like much, but it was a start. The next day, he walked 15 minutes, then 20. Slowly, he began eating better, sleeping better, and moving more. A year later, Ethan had lost 70 pounds and ran his first 5K. It all started with one walk, one small action. It's easy to look at people who are successful and think they got there overnight. But behind every success is a long list of small actions done consistently. Writing one page a day, making one phone call, practicing for 30 minutes, showing up even when they didn't feel like it. That's how real success is built, on the foundation of daily effort. Sometimes people overthink their plans so much that they get stuck. This is called paralysis by analysis. They think and plan and prepare, but never start. The fear of doing something wrong keeps them from doing anything at all. But taking action doesn't mean you have to know everything in advance. In fact, you learn by doing. You improve through action. Nina was a young woman who wanted to start her own online business. She read every article she could find, took courses, and followed successful entrepreneurs online. But she kept delaying her launch because she wanted everything to be perfect. One day, she realized she was learning a lot, but doing nothing. So she took a risk and launched her first product, even though it wasn't perfect. She got feedback, made changes, and kept going. Her business didn't explode overnight, but within 2 years, she had built something real, just because she dared to start. Action leads to clarity. Sometimes you don't even know what you truly want or how to get there until you begin. You might start in one direction, then realize your passion is somewhere else. That's okay. You can adjust your path as you go, but you can't adjust a car that's parked. You have to start moving. Another reason people hesitate to act is because they're afraid to fail. But failure isn't the enemy. Inaction is. Every failure teaches you something. It gives you feedback. It makes you stronger, smarter, and better. But doing nothing, that gives you nothing. There was a man named Carlos who wanted to learn photography. He didn't have a fancy camera or any professional training. He just had his phone and a strong interest. Instead of waiting to buy expensive gear, he started taking photos with what he had. He practiced every day. Over time, his skills grew. His photos got noticed. He saved up, bought better equipment, and eventually started his own photography business. He could have waited for the perfect tools, but instead he took action with what he had. That made all the difference. Always remember, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Every expert was once a beginner. Every strong person once felt weak. Every success story started with one brave decision to take action. Your dreams are waiting for you, not your perfect version, but the real, messy, unsure version of you right now. The version that's scared, the version that doubts, the version that's learning. That version is enough to begin. Don't let fear of the unknown hold you back. You will figure things out along the way. Make a simple plan. Break your big goal into small tasks, then do the first one. That's it. Don't think too far ahead. Just focus on today's action. One phone call, one email, one workout, one chapter, one step. Also, write down your wins. Every time you take action, no matter how small, celebrate it. Keep a journal or list of what you've done. It builds confidence and reminds you that you are moving forward, even when progress feels slow. Surround yourself with people who take action too. Action is contagious. When you're around doers, you start doing more. You feel inspired. You stop making excuses. Choose friends, mentors, and role models who are moving forward in their lives. And always trust this. Action brings results. Maybe not immediately, maybe not the way you expect, but when you stay consistent, your actions build up over time. They turn into habits. Habits turn into character. Character turns into success. If you want a better life, a brighter future, or a bigger dream, don't just think about it. Do something. Start now, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Even if it's tiny, even if you're scared, even if you're not sure what the next step is. Because the truth is, every great thing you will ever do starts with a single step, a single choice to act, and that one action can change your life forever. So go ahead, take that step. Your future is waiting. Chapter 5, Discipline, the silent power behind success. Success is not just about dreams, ideas, or even talent. It is often built on something quieter, something less exciting, but far more powerful: discipline. Discipline means doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like doing it. It means showing up, staying consistent, and pushing forward day after day, even when the motivation disappears. Motivation can help you start. It's that rush of energy you feel when you set a new goal or get inspired by a story or a quote. But motivation fades. It comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, stays. It keeps you moving forward when the excitement is gone. It carries you through early mornings, late nights, and hard moments. It is the strong foundation that supports every successful life. Let's understand this better through the story of Mira, a college student who wanted to become a writer. She loved reading books and often dreamed of seeing her own name on a cover. But dreams alone aren't enough, so Mira made a decision. She would write 500 words every single day, no matter what. Some days she was tired, some days her mind was blank, but she still sat down and wrote. Over time, her writing improved. She finished her first draft in 6 months. A year later, her book was published. Mira didn't rely on bursts of inspiration. She relied on discipline. Discipline means building habits that support your growth. It's waking up early to go for that run. It's studying for your exam when your friends are out having fun. It's choosing a healthy meal when you crave fast food. These decisions may seem small in the moment, but over time they shape who you become. You may not control how talented you are or where you come from, but you can always control how disciplined you are. That is your power. You decide whether you stick to your plan or quit halfway. You decide whether you practice or procrastinate. Every choice either builds you or breaks you. The key is to keep choosing discipline, even when it's hard. It helps to have a clear why. When you have a strong reason for your goal, it becomes easier to stay disciplined. Ask yourself, why do I want this? Do you want to make your family proud? Do you want to live a healthier life? Do you want financial freedom or personal peace? Keep that reason close. Write it down. Look at it every day. When you feel like quitting, your why will remind you to keep going. Take the example of Raj, a young man who wanted to become a software developer. He had no formal training, and the road ahead looked long. But Raj was committed. Every day, he studied coding tutorials for 2 hours, even after working his day job. His friends spent evenings relaxing or watching TV, but Raj stayed focused. It wasn't easy, but his discipline paid off. After a year of consistent effort, he got his first job as a developer. That job changed his life. It wasn't luck, it was discipline. Another truth about discipline: it's not about being perfect. You will have bad days. You will miss a workout, forget to journal, or skip a study session. That's okay. What matters is what you do next. Don't quit because you slipped once. Get back up. Start again. One mistake doesn't erase all your progress. The real test of discipline is how quickly you return after falling off track. Discipline also teaches you patience. We live in a world that wants everything fast. Fast money, fast fame, fast results. But true success doesn't work that way. It takes time. Growth is slow. Change is hard. But with discipline, you learn to trust the process. You stop chasing shortcuts. You build your future brick by brick with steady hands. Let's not forget the story of Lena, a young dancer who dreamed of performing on big stages. She practiced every single day, even when no one was watching. Her friends didn't understand why she worked so hard for a dream that seemed so far. But Lena stayed disciplined. She stretched, rehearsed, and improved. Years later, she became a lead performer in a well-known dance group. People saw her talent, but few saw the discipline behind it. The long hours, the sore muscles, the days of doubt. That's what made her great. To stay disciplined, create routines. When you build habits into your day, discipline becomes automatic. Set a regular wake-up time. Block out time for important tasks. Turn off distractions when it's time to focus. Treat your goals like appointments, non-negotiable parts of your day. The more structure you have, the easier it becomes to stay on track. Discipline also means saying no. You will face temptations, distractions, excuses, easy ways out. Discipline gives you the power to say, not now, or this doesn't help me grow. Saying no doesn't mean you're missing out. It means you're serious about your future. It's also important to celebrate discipline. Every time you stick to your plan, even when it's hard, recognize it. Say, well done. Reward yourself for the effort. This builds confidence. It reminds you that you're capable of doing hard things. Over time, discipline turns into freedom. It sounds strange, but it's true. When you're disciplined with your health, you feel stronger. When you're disciplined with your money, you feel secure. When you're disciplined with your time, you feel in control. Discipline creates a life where you don't feel stuck or lost. You feel free. Remember the story of Tom, a man who used to live paycheck to paycheck. He decided to take control of his finances. He made a strict budget, cut unnecessary spending, and stuck to it for 2 years. Slowly, his debt disappeared. He built savings. One day, he had enough money to start his own business. His discipline gave him the freedom to choose his own path. That's the silent power of discipline. If there's one message to take from this chapter, it's this. You don't need to be the most talented or the most intelligent. You just need to be disciplined. Talent fades without practice. Intelligence is wasted without effort. But discipline, it keeps going. It's the difference between giving up and going forward. It's the heartbeat of every success story. So be strong, be focused, be consistent. Show up even when you're tired. Keep going even when progress feels slow. Do the work even when no one's watching. Because discipline is not just a habit, it's a promise you make to your future. Start now. Build your discipline one day at a time, and trust that with steady steps you'll go further than you ever imagined. Chapter 6. Learn from every failure. Failure, a word most people fear, a feeling most people try to avoid. But here's the truth. Failure is not the end. It's not a sign that you're not good enough. It's not a reason to give up. In fact, failure is one of the most powerful teachers in life. If you learn from it, failure can shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and more successful than ever before. We live in a world where people love to talk about winning. We celebrate victories, achievements, and success stories, but we don't talk enough about the failures that came before those wins. Behind every success you admire is a story of struggle, setbacks, and mistakes. The people who rise to the top are not the ones who never fail. They're the ones who refuse to let failure stop them. Let's start with the story of Leah. She wanted to become a motivational speaker. She worked hard to write her speech and finally got the chance to speak at a local event. But when she stood on stage, her nerves got the best of her. She forgot parts of her speech, stumbled on her words, and left the stage feeling embarrassed and defeated. For a moment, she thought about quitting, but instead, she chose to learn. She recorded herself, practiced her delivery, and studied great speakers. A few months later, she spoke at another event, and this time she nailed it. That first failure didn't stop her. It shaped her. Failure is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. Many times it means you're growing. Think of a child learning to walk. They fall over and over again. But do they give up? No. They keep trying until they succeed. Adults forget this lesson. We become afraid to fall. But just like that child, we must be willing to stumble if we want to learn to stand strong. When you fail, it means you tried. It means you cared enough to take a risk. Some people never fail because they never try. They play it safe and stay in their comfort zone. But comfort doesn't bring growth. To grow, you must be brave enough to try and strong enough to fail. Failure gives you feedback. It shows you what doesn't work so you can find what does. If you fail a test, It shows where you need to study more. If a business idea fails, it teaches you what to fix or do differently. The key is not to ignore your failure, but to study it. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? That question turns failure into fuel. There was a man named Daniel who dreamed of starting a restaurant. He saved money, worked hard, and opened a small place in his town. But within a year, it closed. He had made some poor decisions and didn't fully understand how to manage a business. He was heartbroken. But instead of giving up, Daniel went back to work, this time in someone else's restaurant. He learned about the business side of things, how to manage staff, handle costs, and serve customers better. After 2 years of learning, he tried again. His second restaurant became one of the most popular in the city. His first failure was his classroom. You must also know that failure is part of the journey, not the end of it. Some people see failure as a wall, something that blocks their path. But in truth, failure is a door. If you walk through it with the right attitude, you'll find new strength, new lessons, and new ways to reach your dream. Keep in mind, your failure does not define you. Your response to it does. When you fail, don't label yourself a loser or a failure. You are not your mistakes. You are someone who dared to try. What matters is what you do next. Will you give up or will you grow? One of the biggest lessons failure teaches is humility. It reminds you that you don't know everything. That's a good thing. Humility opens the door to learning. It helps you stay grounded, listen to others, and keep improving. Failure also builds resilience. Every time you fall and get back up, you become tougher. Life will throw challenges your way. If you've never failed, you won't know how to handle them. But if you faced failure and kept going, you'll be ready for anything. Let me tell you about Clara, a young woman who dreamed of becoming a lawyer. She studied hard but failed her first law school entrance exam. She was crushed. Her friends moved forward, but she was left behind. Still, she refused to give up. She took extra classes, improved her study methods, and tried again. This time, she passed. Years later, she became one of the top lawyers in her firm. Her failure didn't break her, it prepared her. When you look at failure as a teacher, not an enemy, everything changes. You stop fearing it. You stop hiding from it. You start welcoming it as part of your growth. Imagine how free you'll feel when failure no longer scares you. You'll try more, risk more, and do more, because you'll know that even if you fail, you'll rise again. Here's something powerful to remember. The road to success is not a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and detours. Sometimes you'll take the wrong turn. Sometimes you'll fall into a ditch. But each time you'll learn, grow, and come back stronger. That's the journey. Also, don't let the opinions of others stop you. When you fail, some people might laugh. They might judge or criticize. Let them. They don't see the full picture. They don't know your heart. What matters is that you believe in your journey. Keep your eyes on your dream, not on their words. It also helps to share your failures with others. Be honest. Talk about what went wrong and what you learned. When you do this, you inspire others. You show them that failure is normal and that it can be overcome. You become a light for those who are afraid to try. In fact, some of the most inspiring people in history were failures first. They were rejected, doubted, laughed at, and told they'd never make it. But they didn't stop. They turned their failures into stepping stones. And you can too. Write this down and remember it. Failure is not falling down. Failure is staying down. As long as you get back up, you are moving forward. As long as you learn, you are growing. As long as you try again, you are winning. So the next time you fail, take a breath. Feel the pain, but don't stay in it. Look for the lesson. Grow from the experience. Then get up and move forward with even more strength. Each failure is preparing you for a greater victory. Believe it. Embrace it. Use it. Because the people who succeed in life are not the ones who never failed. They are the ones who never gave up. Chapter 7. The Power of Positive Thinking. Your thoughts shape your life. What you think every day becomes the lens through which you see the world, and it has the power to either lift you up or hold you down. Positive thinking is not about ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing to believe in hope, strength, and solutions even when life is hard. The way you think affects the way you feel, and the way you feel affects what you do. If you wake up and tell yourself, today will be a good day, you're more likely to notice the good things around you. You'll walk with confidence, treat people kindly, and handle problems with calm. But if you start the day thinking nothing ever goes right, you'll see only the bad. You'll feel low, act with fear, and miss out on chances to grow. That's the power of your mindset. Let me tell you about Nathan, a delivery driver who spent his days on the road. He faced long hours, heavy traffic, and rude customers. Many people in his job felt miserable, but Nathan decided to think differently. Every morning, he reminded himself, I get to be part of someone's day. I can be the reason someone smiles. He greeted people with kindness, played his favorite music while driving, and stayed grateful for the job that supported his family. Over time, his attitude made him happier. People began to notice him. One day, a business owner he delivered to offered him a better job. His positive thinking created new doors. Positive thinking gives you energy. It helps you keep going when things get tough. Imagine your thoughts as the fuel for your journey. Negative thoughts drain you. They make you feel tired and heavy. Positive thoughts fill you up. They give you the strength to move forward, even when the road is steep. But positive thinking doesn't mean you ignore pain or hide from problems. Life has storms. There will be loss, failure, and moments of fear. Positive thinking means you choose not to give up, even in those moments. You say, this is hard, but I can handle it. You believe in your ability to rise. That belief makes all the difference. Think about how you talk to yourself. Are your words building you up or tearing you down? If you keep saying, I'm not good enough, or I'll never succeed, those thoughts become a wall between you and your dreams. But if you say, I'm learning, or I'll find a way, those words become a bridge to a better future. When you start changing your thoughts, your life begins to change. One powerful way to do this is through affirmations. These are simple, positive statements you repeat to yourself. Say things like, I am capable, I am strong, I am worthy of success. At first, it may feel strange, but over time, your mind begins to believe what you say. Your confidence grows, your courage grows, and so does your life. Let's look at another example. Fatima, a single mother working 2 jobs. She had every reason to feel defeated. Long hours, little sleep, and constant stress. But instead of focusing on what she lacked, she focused on what she had. She would say, I am doing my best. I am building a better future for my child. This thinking didn't change her situation overnight, but it gave her the strength to keep going. One step at a time, she improved her skills, saved money, and built a better life. Her mind was her greatest tool. Positive thinking also improves your health. Studies show that people with a positive mindset are less stressed, have stronger immune systems, and even live longer. When you think positively, your body feels the benefit. You sleep better, you worry less, you become more resilient. Of course, there will be days when positive thinking feels impossible, days when things go wrong and the weight is too heavy. That's okay. You're human. Positive thinking doesn't mean being happy all the time. It means not letting the bad moments define you. Feel your emotions, cry if you need to. But once the storm passes, remind yourself of your strength. Remind yourself that you can still move forward. It also helps to surround yourself with positive people. Their energy lifts you. Their words encourage you. When you're with people who believe in growth, who speak with hope, and who push you to rise, you start thinking the same way. On the other hand, negative people can pull you down. Their doubts become your doubts. Their fears become your fears. Choose your circle wisely. Try keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, write down 3 things you're thankful for. They can be big or small. Your health, a good meal, a kind word from a friend. Gratitude shifts your focus. It reminds you of what's going well, even when life is hard. And when your mind is full of gratitude, there's less room for fear. Take action on your positive thoughts. Thinking alone isn't enough. When you believe good things are possible, take steps toward them. If you think I can start my own business, then start learning, saving, and planning. If you think I can be healthier, then start walking, eating better, and sleeping well. Positive thoughts create positive actions, and positive actions create success. One more story. James, a retired man who wanted to stay active and useful. Many around him saw old age as the end, but James thought differently. He believed that every stage of life has purpose. He started volunteering at a school, sharing stories, and helping kids learn to read. His positive mindset gave him joy and gave others a reason to smile. He stayed healthy, happy, and full of life, not because of perfect circumstances, but because of powerful thinking. You don't need to be perfect to think positively. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to choose to believe that good things are possible, that your future is not defined by your past, that your mind is a powerful tool for change. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice. You can focus on what's missing, or you can focus on what's possible. You can believe in fear, or you can believe in hope. That choice, repeated daily, creates your future. So take control of your thoughts. Speak kindly to yourself. Focus on solutions, not problems. Surround yourself with positivity. Be grateful. Be hopeful. Be bold. Because the most successful people are not the ones who never had problems. They are the ones who believed in themselves even when the world didn't. They used their minds as a light in the dark, and so can you. Positive thinking won't solve every problem, but it will give you the strength to face them. It will help you keep moving forward. And in the end, that steady, hopeful mindset is one of the greatest secrets to success. Believe in yourself. Believe in better. Think positive, and watch your life transform. Chapter 8, The Value of Hard Work. Success is not built overnight. It does not come from luck or magic. True and lasting success is built on the foundation of hard work. While talent is a gift, hard work is a choice. And that choice, made day after day, is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Hard work means showing up even when you're tired. It means staying committed even when progress feels slow. It means doing your best not just when someone is watching, but also when no one is around to see. It's about giving your energy, your focus, and your time to something that matters. Many people dream of success, but not all are willing to do the work. They want the reward without the effort. They want the results without the sacrifice. But success doesn't work that way. If you want to achieve something meaningful, you must be willing to work for it. Really work for it. Let's take the story of Raymond, a young man who wanted to become a carpenter. He didn't have much money or training, but he had determination. He found a small workshop that agreed to take him in as an unpaid apprentice. Every day he swept the floors, carried heavy wood, and watched the older carpenters closely. He asked questions, took notes, and stayed late to practice. At first his hands were clumsy. His work wasn't perfect, but he kept at it. Over time, his skills improved. Years later, Raymond opened his own carpentry business. People respected him not just for his talent, but for the hard work behind it. The truth is, hard work builds character. It teaches discipline, patience, and humility. When you work hard for something, you learn to value it. You learn to push through pain, to rise after setbacks, and to take pride in what you've earned. Hard work doesn't just change your circumstances, it changes you. Some people believe success should be easy, but anything easy to get is usually easy to lose. What you gain through hard work, you hold with care. You protect it, respect it, and build on it. It becomes a part of your story, not just a moment of luck. Hard work is also honest. You may not be the smartest, the fastest, or the most talented, but if you work harder than others, you'll go further than many of them. Effort has power. It levels the playing field. It gives you a chance, even when the odds seem against you. Think of a farmer. He wakes up early, works under the sun, and prepares the soil. He plants the seeds, waters the land, and waits patiently. He doesn't see results right away, but he knows that harvest will come if he stays consistent. Hard work is like that. You may not see instant success, but with time and care, your efforts will bear fruit. Consider Julia, a woman who dreamed of becoming a nurse. She was raising 3 children on her own and working part-time at a grocery store. Still, she enrolled in night classes. She studied after putting her kids to bed. She failed a few tests but didn't quit. Slowly, she passed every subject, completed her training, and earned her license. Today, she's a nurse who not only helps patients but also inspires young women to chase their goals. Her life changed, not because things were easy, but because she worked hard. Hard work also brings confidence. When you know you've given your best, you hold your head higher. You trust yourself more. You stop comparing yourself to others because you're focused on your own journey. That kind of self-belief is powerful. Sometimes people confuse busy work with hard work. Being busy doesn't always mean being productive. Hard work means working smart, putting energy into what truly matters. It's not about doing everything, but doing the right things with full focus and heart. It's also important to remember that hard work is not a punishment. It's a privilege. It's a chance to build your life, to shape your future, and to prove to yourself what you're capable of. When you shift your thinking and see work as a gift, not a burden, you begin to enjoy the process. No one becomes successful by accident. Behind every artist, athlete, teacher, leader, or business owner who made it, there are countless hours of effort. Early mornings, late nights, repeated failures, countless sacrifices. But in the end, all that work becomes worth it. Take the example of Evan, a teenager who dreamed of being a professional pianist. He didn't have a piano at home, so he walked to a community center every evening to practice on an old keyboard. He practiced for hours, missing out on parties and free time. His friends didn't understand, but he had a vision, and he stuck to it. Years later, Evan earned a scholarship to a music college and eventually performed on global stages. His hard work turned his dream into reality. You must also remember that hard work is not always about grand actions. Sometimes it's the small things you do daily, reading for 30 minutes instead of scrolling your phone, waking up early to plan your goals, taking one more step even when you're tired. These small acts, repeated with purpose, create big change over time. And don't forget, hard work includes working on yourself, improving your habits, learning from mistakes, being open to feedback, taking care of your health, your mind, and your spirit. The better you become, the more successful you will be, not just in your career, but in life. It's okay to rest. Hard work doesn't mean burning out. Rest is part of growth. You can work hard and still take time to breathe, reflect, and recharge. Balance is key. What matters is that when it's time to work, you give it your all. Also, don't expect others to always notice or praise your hard work. Sometimes you'll be working in silence, but keep going. The right people will notice in time, and more importantly, your results will speak for themselves. Let this be your mindset. I will not wait for the perfect moment. I will not wait for someone to give me permission. I will start where I am, use what I have, and do what I can. I will work with passion, purpose, and persistence. Because at the end of the day, the real success code is this: work hard, stay humble, and never give up. The road may be long, but every step, every drop of sweat, and every effort brings you closer to the life you dream of. So rise early, stay late, keep learning, keep pushing, and trust in the power of your own hands. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who work. Chapter 9. Learning from failure. Failure is something we all face at some point in life. It doesn't matter who you are, how smart you are, or how hard you try. Failure is part of every journey to success. Some people fear failure so much that they never even start. Others treat failure as the end of the road. But those who understand the true meaning of failure know that it's not the end. It's the beginning of growth. Failure teaches you lessons that success never will. When you fail, you're forced to stop and look at what went wrong. You reflect, you analyze, you grow. That process, though painful, is powerful. It gives you the wisdom and strength to do better next time. Let me tell you about Carla, a young woman who dreamed of opening a cafe. She saved money, planned for months, and finally opened her shop. But things didn't go as expected. Her location didn't bring in enough customers. She struggled with inventory and marketing. Within a year, she had to shut down. It felt like the end of her dream. But Carla didn't give up. She sat down with a notebook and wrote down everything she had learned. She realized her mistakes. Then she took a job at a successful cafe to learn more. 2 years later, she opened a new cafe in a better location. This time, it thrived. Her failure didn't break her, it built her. The truth is, failure humbles you. It reminds you that success is not easy, and that's okay. You're not supposed to have it all figured out from the beginning. Failure is a sign that you're trying, and trying is always better than standing still. You're in motion, you're alive, you're chasing something. People who fear failure often live small lives. They avoid risks, they stay in their comfort zones. But nothing great ever happens in comfort zones. To grow, you must stretch yourself, and sometimes you'll fall. But each time you fall, you learn how to get back up stronger. Failure also builds resilience. It toughens your spirit. You realize that the world doesn't end when things go wrong. You realize you can survive disappointment, face criticism, and still move forward. That inner strength is one of the most powerful tools you can have in life. There's another important truth. Failure doesn't define you. How you respond to it does. When something goes wrong, you have two choices. You can quit or you can rise. Quitting may feel easier at the moment, but rising will lead you to the life you want. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall again and again. They bump into things. They cry. But they never say, walking is not for me. They keep going until they get it right. That's the spirit we all need, the courage to keep going no matter how many times we fall. Consider Jonathan, a high school student who failed his math class. He was embarrassed and angry, but instead of giving up, he asked for help. He found a tutor, practiced daily, and even helped others once he started improving. The next year, he passed with top marks. He learned that failure wasn't a label, it was a moment, and it didn't have to last forever. It's also important to talk about the fear of what others think. Many people avoid taking risks because they worry about being judged. But remember, the people who laugh at your failure are not the ones who will build your future. You don't need approval from the crowd. You need belief in yourself. The opinions of others will fade. Your courage will stay. Learning from failure also means forgiving yourself. Don't carry guilt and shame forever. Mistakes happen. Bad choices happen. But beating yourself up won't help you grow. Be honest with yourself, yes, but also be kind. Speak to yourself with the same compassion you'd offer a friend. Tell yourself, I made a mistake, but I can do better. Then do better. Let me share another story. Mia was passionate about writing and submitted her first novel to several publishers. One by one, she received rejection letters. It hurt, but she didn't stop. She took writing classes, rewrote her book, and kept submitting. After 27 rejections, one publisher said yes. Her book became a bestseller. What if she had stopped at rejection number 10, or 15, or 25? The world would have missed her gift. Her success came because she refused to let failure win. Another powerful lesson from failure is learning that success is a journey, not a single event. It's a series of attempts, adjustments, and new tries. Each step teaches you something. Each fall helps you stand taller. The more you fail, the more you learn. And the more you learn, the closer you get to success. Also, remember this, failure can open new doors. Sometimes we fail at one thing because life is guiding us towards something even better. Maybe the job you didn't get was never meant for you. Maybe the relationship that ended made space for someone better. Maybe the business idea that flopped taught you the skills for your next big win. When you see failure as a teacher, not a punishment, you begin to grow faster. You stop avoiding risks. You start embracing challenges. You see every step, even the messy ones, as part of the process. It's okay to feel sad when you fail. It's okay to cry, to be disappointed, to ask why. But don't stay there too long. Feel it, learn from it, and then move forward. You owe that to yourself and to your dreams. Take time to reflect. Ask yourself, what did I learn? What can I do differently? What strengths did I discover? Every failure is a mirror. Look into it, and you'll see something new about yourself, something strong, brave, and full of potential. And don't be afraid to share your failures with others. When you speak openly about your struggles, you inspire people. You show them that they're not alone. You give them hope that they too can overcome. Your story can become someone else's strength. In the end, failure is not your enemy. It's your guide. It pushes you to think deeper, work harder, and believe stronger. It shows you what doesn't work so you can discover what does. So don't run from failure. Don't hide from it. Embrace it. Learn from it. Rise above it. Because the road to success is not a straight line. It's filled with detours, dead ends, and bumps. But every fall is a chance to climb higher. Every no brings you closer to a yes, and every failure brings you one step closer to the success that's waiting for you. Keep going. Keep learning. Keep believing. Your next breakthrough might come right after your next setback. Chapter 10, The Power of Never Giving Up. There is something incredibly powerful about a person who refuses to give up. While talent can open doors and intelligence can solve problems, it is perseverance, the decision to keep going no matter what, that truly creates success. The world is filled with people who started strong but stopped when things got hard. The real champions are those who continued walking even when the path got dark. Never giving up doesn't mean you never feel tired, afraid, or discouraged. It means you don't let those feelings control your actions. It means you wake up each day and take another step forward, even if that step feels small. Success is built one step at a time, often when no one is clapping and no reward is in sight. Let's look at the story of Alan, a man who dreamed of becoming a pilot. He didn't have the money or connections to enter flight school, but he had determination. He worked several jobs, saving every dollar. He failed the entrance test twice, but studied harder and passed on the third try. During training, he struggled with certain lessons, but he asked for extra help, stayed late, and never gave up. Today, Alan flies planes across countries, living a dream that only existed in his heart years ago. He made it not because it was easy, but because he refused to quit. The road to success is never a straight line. It twists and turns, and sometimes it leads you through storms. But storms don't last forever. The sky always clears for those who keep walking. You may feel stuck, but progress is still happening inside you. You are learning, growing, and preparing for your moment. Never giving up is a mindset. It's a belief you carry deep inside that says, I will keep going no matter what. That kind of belief is stronger than fear. It's stronger than failure. It's stronger than doubt. When you believe in your dream and commit to it fully, you become unstoppable. It's important to know that success is often just beyond the point where most people give up. It's that extra effort, that final try, that last bit of courage that makes all the difference. Many people stop digging when they are inches away from gold. Don't let that be you. Keep going. Never giving up also means being willing to adjust your path. Sometimes you have to change your plans, not your purpose. If one door closes, look for another. If one method doesn't work, try a new one. Flexibility is not failure. It's part of persistence. You are not giving up if you're finding better ways to move forward. Take the story of Divya, a woman who wanted to build a community library in her small village. She went to many local leaders asking for support, but most said no. Some laughed at her idea. Still, she kept speaking, kept sharing her vision. She started collecting used books and created a small reading space in her home. Children began coming in. Then teachers noticed. After years of effort, she finally received funding to build a proper library. Today, hundreds of children read there every week. Her dream took time, and the journey was lonely. But because she didn't give up, she changed lives. When things get hard, and they will, remember why you started. Go back to the vision you had, the feeling that pushed you to begin in the first place. Remind yourself that everything worthwhile takes time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is your dream. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate small wins. Every step forward, no matter how tiny, is proof that you are moving. It's okay to rest, but don't quit. Rest when you're tired. Pause when you need clarity. But don't close the book. Your story is still being written. Sometimes, the biggest breakthroughs come after the longest periods of waiting. Just because you can't see the results yet doesn't mean your efforts are wasted. Seeds grow in silence before they rise. Sometimes the people around you won't understand your journey. They may tell you it's too late or too hard. But remember, they are not walking in your shoes. You don't need everyone to believe in your dream. You just need to believe in it enough for yourself. There will be days when nothing goes right. You'll feel like you're failing. On those days, do one small thing. Write one sentence, make one phone call, practice for 10 minutes. Whatever it is, do it. These small actions build strength. They prove to yourself that you are a fighter. Think of Ellis, a young man who wanted to learn coding. He had no background in technology. People told him it was too late, but he didn't let that stop him. He watched free tutorials online, practiced late at night, and built small projects. It took him 3 years, but eventually he landed a job as a developer. Now he teaches others to code. If he had quit when it got confusing, that future would not exist. The most beautiful stories are not about people who had it easy. They're about people who kept going, people who faced rejection, heartbreak, failure, but got up again and again. These are the people who light the way for others. When you never give up, you inspire. You show others that it's possible to rise from pain, to build from nothing, to overcome fear. Your persistence becomes a beacon of hope. You prove that ordinary people can do extraordinary things, not because they are lucky, but because they are determined. Never giving up doesn't guarantee instant success, but it guarantees that you will not be broken by the journey. You will not let fear win. You will not live with the regret of giving up too soon. So, make a promise to yourself. I will keep going. I will trust the process. I will rise when I fall. I will adjust my steps, but never stop walking. I will fight for my dream because it matters. This is the true success code. Not giving up when life gets hard, not quitting when results don't come fast, and not letting fear silence your vision. No matter what you face, keep going. Your strength is greater than your struggle. Your dream is worth every step. And your story is not over yet. Conclusion: unlocking the success code within you. As you reach the end of this book, remember this: the success code is not something hidden in a secret place or owned by a chosen few. It is already inside you. You hold the key. You always have. What you've read in these chapters is not magic. It is truth, simple, powerful, and possible for anyone who is willing to believe in themselves and take action. Success doesn't come from luck alone. It doesn't belong only to the rich or the talented. It belongs to those who choose it every day. It belongs to the dreamers who do more than just dream. It belongs to the people who show up, who fall and rise again, who work when it's hard, who grow through failure, and who never stop believing that they can make it. You have learned that clarity gives direction, that action builds momentum, and that mindset shapes your world. You've seen the power of discipline, the value of learning, the gift of failure, and the strength of never giving up. These lessons are more than words. They are steps you can walk, tools you can use, and habits you can build. If you take even one of these ideas and live it fully, your life will begin to change. The world needs more people like you, people who refuse to settle, who want more from life, and who are ready to grow. It needs leaders who are not afraid to start small, who are willing to climb even when the mountain is steep. It needs people who choose purpose over fear, action over excuses, and hope over doubt. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are not too broken. You are ready. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Take the first step, then take the next one. Keep moving, keep believing, and keep becoming the person you were meant to be. Let this book be a reminder. Your story matters, your dreams matter, and your journey, with all its highs and lows, is leading you somewhere beautiful. This is your time. This is your life. Unlock the code, live your success, and never forget, the real success is not just in what you achieve, but in who you become along the way. Thank you. Truly, thank you for listening to The Success Code by Lara Wells here on Fearless Audio. By reaching the end of this audiobook, you've done more than just listen. You've taken a powerful step toward your future. You've chosen growth over comfort, action over excuses, and belief over fear. Remember, success is not something far away. It's something you build day by day with courage, effort, and faith in yourself. Everything you need is already inside you. This book was just a reminder to wake up the strength that's been there all along. If this journey has inspired you, moved you, or helped you see your life differently, we ask you to please support our channel. Like, share, and subscribe to Fearless Audio. Your support helps us keep creating powerful content that uplifts and transforms lives, just like yours. Keep pushing forward. Keep unlocking the code within you. And above all, never forget, you were made for more. This is not the end. It's your new beginning. Stay fearless.